Hey guys, it's Amy at Zoe Beck, and I'm going to do my weekly reading update for February 2nd, 2025. So technically I'm filming this the day before because I have some stuff I need to do in the morning on Sunday. So we're just going to do this early, and I got my hair done today, so we're just going to do it. Anyway, so this week didn't go as planned. I did get sick. I mean, you might be able to hear it still. My brother did not get me sick. A coworker of mine had whatever his version was, because it started out with a sore throat I had on Sunday night. And then I went to work on Monday, but I wasn't feeling very well. Like, I barely made it through the day. And then I got home and it got worse. So I stayed home Tuesday and Wednesday. I made it to work on Thursday, kind of by the skin of my teeth, but I stayed away from everybody and stayed in my office for most of the time. But I blame my coworker still for getting me sick. Anyway, and then Friday I felt so much better. Like Thursday afternoon I started feeling pretty good, and then by the time Friday rolled around, I sound a little congested, maybe a little bit in my throat, because again, I started out with a sore throat and then I got congested. So it was not fun. Anyway, so yes, this week did not go the way I planned, because I had all these plans to get to all these books that I wanted to get to at the end of the month. And I did not, because I could not make myself read anything new. I kind of stopped all that after I got sick. And it really wasn't until yesterday that I even started anything that's new to me, because I go into a rereading mode normally when I'm not feeling well, for any reason, not just when I'm sick, but when I'm feeling down. So it was kind of a combination of, I still wanted to listen to something, and I picked a reread. So you won't be surprised by what I picked. Anyway, so let's talk about the books that I read, what I finished, what I'm in the middle of, and what I think I'm gonna read in the next week. But you know, we never know what that's gonna be. So the first thing is a DNF, but this is not a DNF forever. This is a soft DNF that I'm putting this on my cart of shame for now. I just couldn't do it. Calicane by Karen Boye. This is translated from the Swedish by David Macduff. This was published in 1940, so this is a modern classic, and it's dystopian. So this was published between Brave New World and 1984, and I think it has its place in modern classics for that reason. And I did want to read this. I still do. It's just, with the way the world is, and I was not feeling well, I just decided, I got 50 pages in, so I read another 7 or 8 pages, and I'm just like, no, I just don't care right now. So I put it down. So again, it's only 170 pages, but I read 50 pages, so I read about 29%, I think is what it came out to. So I will come back to this. I just figure I have to be in a different mood than I am right now. And then of course, then I got sick, and it was, I was pretty much like, yeah, this isn't happening this month. So it's about a scientist, Leo, who is working for the government. Like, he's a scientist, so he comes up with what do you call it, kind of like a serum or something, that makes people tell the truth. And again, this is a very where the government is very much in everybody's lives, and publicly, if you make a mistake, you have to apologize publicly. So it's I know where it's kind of going. I don't know how it all comes to play, because I only did 50 pages, but I do still want to read this at some point. It's not right now. I just got kind of tired of it. So anyway, so we're going to let that one go right now. I'm going to put it on my cart of shame, and hopefully sometime this year I will pick it up and try again and get through that. So the first book I finished was on Sunday, and I did finish The Fate of Mercy Albin by Wendy Webb. This was so much fun. Again, these are Gothic mysteries. All of her books kind of usually take place somewhere around the Great Lakes, usually around Minnesota and Wisconsin, kind of somewhere in there. Around like Superior is her favorite, but I think she's been on another lake too. I can't remember if it was Michigan. I don't remember. Like the locations aren't real, but like this one had it where the main character Grace drives through Duluth to Superior. So I think it's on the Wisconsin side on this one. Not positive. They don't make it like a real place, of course. So we're talking about this fancy house that's been in the family for generations. And Grace has not been home for 20 years due to some bad things that happened when she was like a young woman. And so she has been living on the West Coast, and her mother passes away very mysteriously. And so she comes home with her 16-year-old daughter, and she's been going through stuff on her own. And so they show up and they're trying to figure out what happened. You know, it's classified as natural death, but there's a lot of weird things, and there's things about the house that are really strange. Again, it's an estate and has all these secrets, and the family has secrets, and then we're learning about them as we go along. I really enjoyed this read. This is again one of the ones I think it was her second published book. I think really good. I really like this one, except for the epilogue. I would tear out the epilogue and never read that again. That kind of ruined part of it for me. It doesn't ruin my rating or anything, but I'm like, no. I'm just going to ignore that. I mean, even though I see why she did it, but I hate it. And I think she's done that to me before, where she puts an epilogue in that I don't like, but I really hated this epilogue. But other than that, I thought the story was really well done. And I was really interested. Like, I was on my seat, not sure exactly how it was all going to come around, because I did like the twists and turns on this. So I am so glad that I read this. So anyway, I need to read. I still have 4 of her books, I think, because I just got the newest one. So I think I still have 4 of her books. So I think I've read half of her books. I don't know. I have to check the number. I might have read 5. I don't remember. I've read 4 or 5. So anyway, I really, really enjoyed that. Hold on a second. Okay, sorry about that. Anyway, so that's the only new thing that I finished this week. So what I did is on Monday, when I wasn't feeling good at work, I just could not continue with the audiobook I was reading. I'll get to that in a second. And I decided to restart a series. I don't think anybody's surprised that I picked the Side Changeling series by Nalini Singh. So I decided to start re-listening to these. The 24th book is coming out this summer. So I knew that at some point I would start binging these. I didn't plan to read 5 of them this early in the year, but hey, if I split them up a little bit over the year, you know, I'll get there. So again, Nalini Singh is one of my favorite authors, and the Side Changeling series is one of my favorite series. So this is a urban fantasy, well, more paranormal romance series where humans, shifters, and people with psychic abilities are vying for power in the world. And this is like, it's about 50 years in the future. And it's like it's alternate history, because something happened in 1979 that changes everything for the people with the psychic abilities. And we are dealing with people who are dealing with the aftermath of that. So I started from the very beginning. I had a couple of the audiobooks. Some of them I got from the library. I think 1 or 2 of them were from Audible Plus right now. But I did have to skip one. So I had to wait. I'm on the library hold list because I didn't want to buy it. I don't own all of them. I own a lot of the later ones because I don't want to buy hardbacks. So what I do instead is use the money to buy the ebook, and then I buy the audiobook. Because I'll reread them, and then I usually buy the paperback when they come out. But these were just the old ones that I got, all used. These are all used, but I, again, listened to them on either Audible Plus, or I own them, or I got it from the library. So I did listen to Slave to Sensation, Visions of Heat, Caressed by Ice, Hostage to Pleasure, and Branded by Fire. So I did skip book 4, so this is 5 and this is 6. So I will go back. I'm stopping my reread right now because I want to wait for 4. I really didn't want to go on, but it was like 2 weeks out on Libby, and I was still sick, and I'm like, I need to read something else. So I just listened to these. So these are all done by Angela Daw, the audiobooks. She does a really great job. 2 of these have, A lot of the beginning part of the series are not my favorites, even though there's a lot of good action and the world building, everything kind of builds on itself. I really suggest starting with Slave to Sensation. It is not the best book. I think there are weaknesses to it, but I also think there's a lot of stuff built into that you later see come to fruition later. So I think she still did a really great job for being her first I think it was her first book kind of like that. Well, she might have had some Harlequin that were a little bit like those, but I've not read those yet, but maybe someday. But Branded by Fire is probably my third favorite. Had I decided it was third or fourth favorite of the 23 books that are out right now, and Caressed by Ice is probably 6 or 7. So they're pretty high up in even though this is only book 3 in the overall series, it is like I would probably put it at 6 or 7 on my favorites list. And Branded by Fire, I'm pretty sure 3 is pretty much where it's staying, and this is book 6. So anyway, I enjoyed that. That's what I did all week. Monday through Friday, that was pretty much, I just listened to audiobooks. When I was home sick, I did like immersion read. I read it as well, because I've reread them physically and on audio many times, more times than I can count. The last time I did a reread of the early part of the series, of this part of the series, was in 2022. So it's been a couple years. I've waited. Now the end part of the series, I've read those more recently. Some of them last year, a lot of them last year, but we're not there yet. Anyway, so as I said, I'm going to probably pick up my reread on those again, either later this month or, February, or maybe closer to April. I don't know. We'll see. There's still a lot of books to go. I mean, I've only done 5 out of 23. So we'll see how we go. And then the 24th book will come out, and I will be excited. Anyway, so let's talk about the books I'm in the middle of. Right now, physically, I'm reading White Tiger by Jennifer Ashley. This is book 8. I keep forgetting what number it is, but I think it's 8 in the Shifters Unbound paranormal romance series. So this is about shifters who 20 years before were put into shifter towns, kind of regulated and collared so that their collars will stop them from being able to use all of their strength and their power and stuff. And we are following different couples and stuff and different locations of the shifters and them finding their mates, so it's just a fun one. This one's an interesting one because we're following Kendrick, who is a white tiger shifter, which is rare. And he is a leader of some shifters who 20 years before, they went into hiding. They did not go into the shifter towns. There are reasons politically and things medically, that reasons why a lot of shifters did give up and go into the shifter towns, but these shifters decide not to. So now we're in an aftermath of they've been found out 6 months before, and they all scattered, and so now they're trying to regroup. And Addison is unfortunately she is caught. She meets a few of them, Kendrick and a few others, and she is caught in crossfire. Just because of where she worked, and he kept coming there for pie in the late evening. Anyway, so far it's good. It's a very much paranormal romance. There is sexy times and stuff like that. I like the attraction between them, and then the world keeps again expanding. This is only book 8. I think she's up to book 15 or 16. So I'm behind because she had a lot of novellas, and so I did have to reread a few of them last year to get caught up and then start reading the ones I hadn't read. So, but I've stalled out, I think, in the summer, and I don't know why. I have so many of these to read. So this year I'm hoping to read, if not get caught up fully on this series, I want to get really close. So we're going to try that. But anyway, so I'm reading book 8 to get farther into that series. I am still listening. This is my Onyx Storm by Rebecca Yarros. This is the big casualty of being sick. I could not focus enough to listen to a book that I had not heard before. And even if I had immersion read, I was sick. I was not paying attention that much to the rereads, but I've read these books 4 or 5 times. So I kind of let that go. So I'm probably going to start listening to this again this week. I just had to put it down. The audiobook is done by Rebecca Solar, which I think she does a fairly good job. This is book 3 in the Imperium series. Everybody's talking about this. I am avoiding everybody's and what their feelings are on it. My feelings so far are pretty good. I'm about 150 pages in, so not too far. I still have 400, a little under 400 pages left. So I'm hoping to finish it up this week, as I said, if I don't get sick again. But I'm really enjoying this fantasy romance, and I just love the world and all the characters. I love all the cast of characters. So I am hoping to finish that up, hopefully this week. But I did start a new book, which is my buddy read with Bernard Burnish Bookish Adventures. Again, this is only on the 1st. But so I've only done 1 day's worth, but I am 70 pages into Crouching Tiger, Forbidden Vampire by Carolyn Sparks, book number 16, the final book of the Lovett Stakes series. So this is a paranormal romance series that focuses on vampires, and then it just expands and expands. And it's been the last book was really exciting, and things happened, and there's still kind of after effects from what happened in that one. So we are following Russell, who for decades was in kind of a vampire coma. He was put into it, and he comes out of it finding out that everybody in his life has died. And so he's out for revenge to go after the main bad guy that we have been gearing up towards here. And then we also find Gia, whose family was also killed. But hers were killed by the bad guy, and so she is out for major revenge. And now she feels like she's ready to go after him, and they kind of get at crosshairs with each other because they're both out for revenge, but they want to do it. And again, he's a vampire, she's something else, and a shifter of a sort. And then so it's just fun. It's just a fun time. And again, we're only 70 pages in, so I'm hoping this is a great last book. But Berna and I have enjoyed most of the series, so we will continue our buddy read of that for the next few days. So we'll finish it on Wednesday, and then we will be done with the Lovett Stakes series. So that'll be a weird feeling. And then the only other book that I did start today, I had about an hour before I had to go to my hair appointment. So I started my reread of the Innkeeper Chronicles Clean Sweep, the graphic novel, Volume 1. So this is by Ilona Andrews. Again, I read the whole series that they've published so far. I have those books, but this is the graphic novel version of it. And I just love this book. This is one of my favorite books of last year. For the adaptation, it was just so well done. So I did get Volume 2 this week, and I was so sick I couldn't read it. I was just like, I can't. So I'm hoping to reread this today, or this weekend, and then hopefully read Volume 2 as well and be caught up in that. The Volume 1 and 2 follow the whole story of Clean Sweep, which is the first book in the Innkeeper Chronicles. So we're following Dina, who is this innkeeper. And she, it's a kind of magical, but it's more scientific. So in the universe, there are other creatures that come and stay there, and they have protection in her inn. It's protecting people. Well, this starts out where there is a creature that comes and is killing the local dogs, and she finds it. And then she is also dealing with her neighbor, Sean, who, he's not what he seems either. Anyway, it's like a sci-fi urban fantasy, if that makes any sense, because there's there's space stuff, and then there's also kind of a little magic-ish kind of stuff with the way that things work in the inn. So I'm really excited to do my reread and then read the next volume, even though I've read the story because I've read the novel, but I really like that. So, and then real quick, the books that I think I might read, again, I might read, if it comes in on my hold from the library, Mind to Possess by Nalini Singh. This is book 4 in the Side Changing series. So if it comes in, I will listen to this, but probably not until after I finish Onyx Storm. as I said, that's going to be the next one, the next audiobook I focus on beyond. I am listening to, I forgot to say, I am listening to this on audio, and I forgot to write down the guy's name, but it's a male voice this time. So I think that's only happened one other time in this series, but it makes sense because Russell, the main character, is the lead character in this. So we'll have to see. I just forgot to write the guy's name down. So far, that's fine. Another book I might pick up after I finish like White Tiger is, I think, Rosemary and Rue, which is the first book by Shauna Maguire in the October Daye series. So this is a fae urban fantasy in San Francisco where Toby was lost for many years because she was trapped in an enchantment, and she comes back and her whole life has changed. Things have changed and the world has moved on, and so has her family and other things. And so she is trying to rebuild, and she's kind of, I think she's kind of an investigator of some sort, but she gets kind of caught up in fae stuff. And I don't remember much beyond this. I did read this, I think 2016 or 14. Like, it's been 9 to 12 years. I don't know, something like that. I don't remember what year exactly. I'd have to go back and look again. But I do want to reread this book because I want to continue the series. I meant to continue years ago and I just never did. So I do hope to get to that. That might be this week. That was supposed to happen in the week when I was sick, but it didn't. But that is still one of the ones I want to read because I need to reread that to read the next book. And that book is on my 25 and 25. Another book in 25 and 25 that I want to get to is Lost and Lassoed by Lila Sage. This is book 3 in the Rebel Blue Ranch series. My audiobook hold just came through, so I do want to listen to this, or I'll read it physically. I've kind of done a mixture of it in the other books, but this is the 3rd book in this series, following the older brother Gus and Teddy, the best friend of the sister of Gus's younger sister. And so they have this like hate relationship, so I'm curious how this is going to go. Anyway, we'll see what happens. So I hope to get to that audiobook as well. Not sure how that's going to work, but we'll see. Matters how Onyx Storm goes. And then another physical book that I might pick up soon is Watermoon by Samantha Soto Yamboya Bayo. Anyway, so this is a book that's going around right now. It's really big and popular. I was on my library hold list and it came in a couple of days ago. So I have it. I need to read it. And we're following a woman who inherits, I think, a pawn shop. And then, but the first day she is in charge, I think someone breaks in and steals everything that's in the pawn shop. Is that this one? Yeah, everything's stolen and her father's missing. And so and then a stranger shows up, and he, instead of asking for whatever this pawn shop does, I know it has something to do with memories or something. I'm not sure how it all works. This stranger says he'll help her, which is weird, I guess. I don't know. And it's their journey. It's a book I wanted to read. I actually thought it was translated. It is not. But I still I've seen a lot of people talk about it. Not anybody's read it yet, but that everybody's put it on their list because it goes for the buzzword and the buzzword, the word, which is water words, and then also the pattern because it has a city line. So it kind of does for both. So if you're doing that, I'm not, but because I can't read that way anyway, but it does cross. So I'm hoping to get to that this week or next week. So we'll see how my reading goes physically. I have a lot of options, and then there's so many other things that I want to read. So I'm not even going to go there. So, anyway, that's it. How is your guys' reading going? Are you guys staying away from the colds? Oh my gosh. I don't want to be sick anymore. I hate wasting, PTO on sick days when I didn't do anything. And I couldn't read anything new. I had to reread just to read anything. But mostly I just watched BookTube. And that was kind of it, and just rested. That was kind of bad. Anyway, let me know what you guys are reading, or how did your January go? Again, I finished quite a few things. I'm really happy with what I did. It was not what I expected I was going to read at all, most of that stuff. So we'll see how February goes, and if I can read the books that I plan to. We'll see what happens. Anyway, that's it. I will talk to you guys later. Bye.